darlings, from me, Disco, and Gary.
Hello.
I am so sorry we haven't done any YouTubes for the last 2 days, but it has been pretty brutal detoxing, and also the focus and that you have to sort of like immerse yourself into the program that Gary's arranged for me, that organised for me. Is so intense, it absolutely exhausts you. And I felt guilty because I really wanted to do, chart this complete journey with you, and I'm trying my hardest on Insta stories, but I get exhausted. But the thing is, if you don't focus that hard and you don't, it's so challenging emotionally, but if you don't do it, you don't get the results. So I am doing everything I can in my power to really immerse myself. But day 5, well, I feel so different, and I have this kind of disassociation to the emotions that have connected me and brought me down so much. I keep repeating quicksand because that's how it always felt, like being sucked into a dark hole, and you're trying so hard to get out of it, but without the tools that Gary has given me, and they are so powerful. I feel like I've got my self-worth back, my confidence back. I feel like I've got my life back and a passion for life.
What do you think your light bulb moment has been, or lesson, or perception, or breakthrough?
I think one of the most amazing things about this 7-day intensive course with Gary, with you, is that I've obviously been to a lot of rehabs, and we're not just talking England. And what they do is they remove you from your environment, right? And they put you in an environment which is so foreign to you. And yes, they strip you bare. The ones in England, obviously, I've said before, and I'm going to say it's the Priory, is they strip you bare, but they break you. It's your fault. You're an addict. You should be full of shame, and you are constantly shamed. And, and all your peers come and you tell your life story, and they literally, they just batter you even more. Now, I'm sorry, but as addicts, I've said before, we have no problem battering ourselves. We have no problem with guilt. We have no problem with feeling shame and just beating ourselves up constantly. So when you come out, you've still got that embedded in your brain, that negativity, like you're worthless, you're no good, you cause harm to everybody, you're chaotic, you're this, you're that. You don't come out with a sense of calm, peace, contentment, and empowerment, Like, I really want to enjoy my life again. So anyway, moving on from that, you're removed from your environment, you're removed from, maybe in some places like Cottonwood in Arizona, your television, newspapers, your telephone, all this kind of stuff. You're locked out of your bedroom, so you can't go there at night. Everything. You have your meals regimented. Everything's done for you, right? Every single the thing that you could possibly be addicted to is removed. Now, for me, I've realised that the reason those haven't worked for me, even though I could sustain it maybe for 4.5 years, but just by the skin of my teeth, is because I need to be in my own environment where everything is exposed. Like, if it's alcohol or, whatever it could be, access to anything that I could possibly be addicted to. I need to be surrounded by that, to be able to take away that compulsion to be drawn back into it. I need to and Gary has this magical way of taking the power out of the way that these just suck you in, and so for this to be a 7-day intensive course on one-to-one, where he takes the power out of anything that I could be addicted to, but
Excuse me,
bless you,
yes.
Gary.
Yes.
But it's just, that is something that has been overwhelmingly powerful. It's anything. It's it's even something someone could say from your family that may be slightly negative that you remember from child that might set off a trigger or whatever. It's you've got to learn to live and be yourself, your authentic self in your environment, being who you are, but taking away the anything, like maybe your your grief or the traumas that you've had, or because they sometimes could have happened into your home. Now you can't come out of rehab. Sorry, Disky, come here, darling. You can't come out of rehab and they go, look, it's people, places, things that are triggers. Well, I can't move home, can I?
Yes,
Can anyone else
instead
move
of
home?
reacting to people,
gonna get
places,
disco.
and things.
Hang on.
There you go.
You can go out. Go on. There you go.
So instead of reacting to people, places, and things, by having that cleanse, which we'll discuss in a moment, you become someone new around those people, places, and things, and you perceive them differently.
Yes.
It's not the things, it's the way you were perceiving them, the way you were reacting to them, the way you felt about them, who you felt you were in response to them, all of that, which is great to watch.
So powerful.
For anyone listening in, I mean, I hear this all the time, when people say, gosh, he's changed quickly, or he's changed so quickly, and can it be that simple? What would you say? I know we're still just beginning, because we're only at the beginning of day 5.
Yeah.
But what would you say for people who are noticing a change so quickly?
There was something this morning, I don't know what it is, but I woke up just, and I know that this is just, I'm not belittling addiction or anything like that, because by God do I know. I haven't shared this before, I've just shared it on my Instagram today, but no one knows the severity of what I've been through the last 3 months and what I've put my family and friends and Disco through. I always include Disco because he's so in tune with me that if I'm in a bad state, he is frightened and just he's just apoplectic with worry, which is what everyone was. Now, the first time I relapsed, and you all know why. My friends were so frightened that they sent the paramedics round to my home, and they also sent the police round. They were so frightened. I had 7 of them, my friends, because my family didn't know at that time, come into my flat, and they just didn't know what to do with me. I had been on the floor crying and screaming for 5 hours. Following on from that, I had 2 further relapses. Both ended up in hospital and 1 in resuscitation because I'd stopped breathing. These were near fatal. I mean, this is no bloody joke. This disease is horrific. It is absolutely horrific. And now, looking back at it all, I'm like, how did I get so sucked into all of that? Just from a negative mindset. Just from as an addict, you just have so little self-worth, and you just everything just builds up into this huge cloud that comes over you, and you do everything to try and wipe it out, but it doesn't happen. You can't get out of a negative mindset, and it doesn't matter who says to you, come on, put on your big girl's pants. I mean, if I hear that once more. One, I don't have any big girl's pants. Or just keep busy, or get out there and get a job, or, like a 9-to-5 structured job, or just get structure to your life, or, life's not that bad. Like, you've got so many things to be grateful for. Now, I do believe that. But at the same time, how is that going to change my mindset? I'm stuck in that really dark place that I'm triggered. I was stuck. So you can tell me as many times as you want until you're blue in the face, oh, just cheer up, Adela, oh, you'll snap out of it, oh, just do this, oh, just do that. And, that's why it's so difficult for loved ones and your family and your friends, because they are helpless. They do not know what to do, and then they'll get all this advice, do this for her, do this for her. I've been told millions of times from my last relapse that lots of people said I should be sectioned. Now, how is that going to help me? That's not going to help me until my mindset is changed to a positive mindset, and I have disassociation from any emotion attached to traumatic experiences, which is what Gary's given me. And I don't think I've ever had, and you know, everyone says, oh my God, this might be an incredibly quick change around, and you know, this is a bit, you know, we're all very skeptical and stuff. And yes, you know, maybe it's a work in progress. Everything's a work in progress. But to have battled detox for the last, you know, 4 days was brutal. You know, I've still got the night sweats. It's not pretty, you know, but to come out this positive and, you know, to want to put on makeup. Okay, I can't do my hair, but, you know, let's just leave that one. To get my leather trousers back on, to feel me again, but with this new zest for life. I feel.
What do you believe is possible at this current set point? Of course, I'm taking you further today and beyond. What do you think is possible for you from this current now set point?
I just feel like I feel free, Gary.
What do you feel capable of?
I feel like all the things that were holding me back in life, the blocks I put up for myself, remember, I feel like they've been removed. So anything I had lack of self-worth about, or that I was a failure, that I couldn't achieve, I can. I really feel I can now. I mean, look, I'm not going to say I'm going to take over the world and I'm, you know, be the next Prime Minister. Theresa May, maybe. But I'm saying that I have a degree of confidence that...
Well, that's why I always say you can't fake it. You can tell by the way you feel what's possible, and how you feel is one of the things I love to change. How you feel is your indicator of what's possible, because you see life as a reflection from the emotional state that you're in. Many addicts get into negative states and then they preview or perceive life from that set point. And as you've raised your emotional state, because we've cleansed away the sewage or the limitation, the self-perceived limitation, you can start to feel different and see different opportunities and possibilities. Would you accept that?
Absolutely. Absolutely 100%. I mean, I don't think I've ever woken up feeling like I said, you know, like on my Instagram today, if addiction was an entity, I would be ready for war. Like, I'm ready for war. You know, if it was something that I could, you know, it was a physical thing. But I have a complete... Right now, I mean, you know, listen, as an addict, you can never sort of say that, but it's not even like about addiction anymore for me. It's about...
Well, that's why I very rarely like to talk about addiction, because the more you talk about addiction, the more addiction's a part of you. I'm all about who would you prefer to be, how would you prefer your life to be, but a lot of people want to talk about you are this and you are that and you did this wrong and you did that wrong.
Yeah.
So therefore, that's all you can see and experience.
Yes.
And it's and I really believe, you know, the UK and many people in the world are very behind in positive thinking. They want to condemn the addict and remind you of what you've lost, remind you of what you've created.
Yeah.
So how can you experience anything else?
Absolutely, because you still have that embedded in your mind. Whereas with you, it's positive affirmations. It's
Positive
always
affirmation,
in
yeah.
hypnosis.
Now a lot of people will have quotes sent to them every day, and they'll read quotes. What do you think the difference between the idea of positive affirmation versus this immersion therapy? Because have I just sat here and said you are great, the world's your oyster, you are special? What do you think's different for anyone thinking, oh, well, I read positive quotes every day and I'm an addict, or I'm depressed, or I'm sad, or I'm missing out on love? What do you think the difference is between reading a positive affirmation or saying it out loud versus this experience we've had so far?
Well, with a quote, you know, you might look at it and just, you know, skim read it or whatever and think, oh, that's, you know, it doesn't change your day. You can still get triggered back into a negative mindset like that. But with immersion therapy, you are changing the brain. It's not just, you're changing the way the brain looks at things.
The neural pathways in your brain.
Yes, which is huge.
If I subconsciously felt I wasn't good enough, and then I went about my day, I would start to have a bad interview, a bad date, a bad presentation, because the way I felt would be communicated. And then if I came across a positive quote, I might say, that says, you are good enough, I go, oh, okay, I'm good enough. But before long, I'd go back to being the subconscious identity that's been programmed,
Embedded in you.
embedded within me. And all we are creatures of habit and whatever we've been programmed to see, feel, hear, taste, touch, smell, or understand. So that's the difference. When you subconsciously shift and find a new identity, you'll be inspired to move forward with that identity.
Yes, absolutely. It's just I don't know how you do it. You know, even in hypnosis, it's like I remember saying on my Instagram yesterday. You know, it's when you go into this hypnosis, which is so deep. You know, I mean, you've seen me. I can lie there for up to 2 hours afterwards, and I'm just in this kind of like trance-like state, but it's just beautiful, and you know, I don't want to move or anything. But what happens is, because you've embedded all these positive affirmations inside me, when I do eventually get up from it and I move, it flicks back into your head. Something, you know, flicks back into your head, and it's like a shot of serotonin. And I think that's why I feel so amazing at the moment, because all you've done is not focus on the negative. It's all been like, that's just, that's just a story.
I never discuss it.
Never. It's
and people
always
think, well,
positive.
can I just tell you the story? And I say, I'm not interested. They say, well, don't you care? Of course I care. But I never go there. I go to what we want to now be, do, and have, and focus you there. And your subconscious mind, if it accepts that, will become that. Yeah. I said to you, we've got to get through day 3, because day 3 can be challenging. I know you were having the night sweats, you were detoxing, you were getting a bit irritated because of the struggle. Tell us about that, and what, getting into day 4 and 5, what happened for you?
Yeah, I mean, day 3, I was incredibly sluggish. I didn't really want to do the work. It's incredibly intensive and exhausting. And I still was kind of skeptical about, you know, is this going to work this time? And, you know, obviously it was intense detox, because what a lot of people didn't know as well is that up until you arrived, I was sneaking drinks. Now, no one's to blame for this. As an addict, you're incredibly sneaky, which is why this for me to have changed this quickly, you know, is and a lot of people are going to go, oh, why did your parents have alcohol? Out. I've never touched that alcohol in there. Funnily enough, you know, I've never touched it, and so they would never, you know, believe it. And then they did find out, and then it was all removed from me. And then you came down, and the difference is, you know, I was determined to get well. You know, I'm not here as a joke. I've seen what I've put everyone through. I've seen what, you know, I put myself through, and Disky. And as soon as, you know, that was it. You know, that was it. So
I said to you, you know, on day 3, you know, you've seen shifts. Every time you wake up, you'll notice more deep, profound shifts. Unconscious shifts that allow you to now feel differently. And I said to you yesterday, I think tomorrow when you'll wake up, I think you're going to feel even more powerful. And you wake up, and the embedded commands, the Ericksonian hypnosis, the deep trance effects become who you are. They're recorded, and you now operate from that programming or set point.
Yeah,
Would
absolutely.
you accept that?
Oh my God, absolutely. I mean, yesterday when I woke up, I felt such a shift. But this morning, it's like 10 times that. And, you know, I literally, you can hear it in my voice and in my energy. You know, I am a passionate person, and I do, you know, I'm a really upbeat person. And I've just been living in the darkness for so long, Gary. And to feel like I do this morning, I don't remember the last time I ever felt like this. And, you know.
So we've moved through cleanse. We're starting to go into install. Install is where we embed more profound shifts in you, helping your subconscious mind accept that you are capable of anything that you want, accept that you are powerful, not powerless, that you are worthy, not worthless.
Yes.
And that you are courageous, that you're fearless. When you accept that, you could just push down walls, knock on any door, speak to anyone, stand in front of a room, create anything that you want. Your subconscious mind is already absorbing that. So it's very exciting to see.
Yeah.
Very exciting to see. And this is what I love to do. And so what do you think, just for one last question as we close this video, is there anything else you would like to add around rehab centres in the UK or internationally, and why you feel full immersion has supported you this time in a more profound way?
Well, I think, obviously one-on-one intense therapy is, and the trust, because you know, with you immediately have trust, because when you see your progress going so amazingly, and when I see and hear and listen to you, it's like it makes so much sense, and then I can see the positive changes in me as well. But when you're in rehab, there's a lot of you, and it's it's a lot of talking about your past and
The
dragging
problems.
you back into that, and that's not I just keep talking and talking and talking about your past, and even with your peers when you're not in session, when you're not in therapy, you're outside talking about your past. It's not helpful. It really isn't. And to have this one-on-one and to know, so Disky, to know that
Disco.
to know that you're here, if you have a wobble or you feel like anything, to have that disco
Disco.
is so powerful. Look, you little naughty munchkin. Ugh. Anyway, you see, he's so happy because his mum's so happy.
He wants to play. It is interesting.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
It's so interesting.
So
Well, that's why I'm a
full
firm believer of
immersion.
energy.
Yeah, full immersion, and you're, just having you here, just like you wake up with a massive hug, and it's like we're gonna do this today, and we're gonna do that today, and but we're gonna have a break. We're gonna, and when we go into session, Adela, I want you to calm down and
I get you prepared for that.
yes. Always.
The same process, and I might actually do maybe it's a guided meditation this week and send it to your followers if they want that.
I think that would
just
be
to relax
amazing.
them, just an intro, just to help them relax.
Yes, I think that would be lovely.
Okay, well that's fantastic for now. We'll start, another.
I love you all so
Fantastic.
much.